Wally Week, star of Automania and Pyjamarama, introduced the rest of his family and friends in this action-adventure game from Mikro-Gen. I remember buying this in a bargain bin when my mum took me shopping with her, so it was a few years after its release in 1985 that I first played it. But what was it all about? Everyone's a Wally was the first game of its type to feature multiple playable characters. There's Wally Week, the main character who is a builder and handyman. Wilma, his wife. Tom, a punk mechanic. Dick, a plumber. And Harry, a hippie electrician. Herbert, the baby son of Wally and Wilma, also appears in the game as a mobile hazard, non-playable character, but eventually he was to get his own game in Herbert's Dummy Run, which can also be found on the channel. With the exception of Herbert, the gang are all player controllable, one at a time. Each of them is capable of undertaking different objectives depending on their profession. The gang has a list of tasks, most of which must be performed by the right person and with the right tools. Often, jobs depend on other tasks having been completed first. The overall object of the game is to collect all the code letters required to crack the bank safe, to steal the money, to pay the gang. The code letters act as objects to be collected, and they must be taken to the bank in their correct sequence, which you have to establish. Lives left are marked by golden hearts at the top of the screen, together with a twisted purple bar, a measure of endurance left for the current life. This decreases every time you're clumsy enough to let your character be hit by flying nasties, bitten by snapping desks, or bump into that little shit, Herbert the baby. The tasks you have to complete in order to get the parts of the safe combination seem straightforward enough, such as building a wall or delivering a parcel. But the objects lying around the place vary from the expected screwdriver to the unexpected test tube. As in the other game from Mikro-Gen, Pyjamarama, these objects are scattered everywhere and are collected by walking over them, which results in the current carried object being deposited and switched. Many arcade adventures for the Commodore 64 operated in this manner, including another game I used to love as a kid, but is seldom mentioned, The Happiest Days of Your Life. If you like games like this, then definitely check that one out too. Since all 5 player-controlled characters lead an independent life when not under control, this can become infuriating when someone wanders in and picks up an object you were just about to collect. Exchange of control is done when an uncontrolled character enters the same screen as your control character. You then just press the appropriate numerical key and control is exchanged. 1 will get you Wally, 2 for Wilma, 3 for Tom, 4 for Dick, and finally 5 for Harry. At any time, by pressing the key for the character you want to know about, a message comes up at the top, which tells you where they are, as long as you can remember where this particular location is within the game. I conveniently found this map, which would have been superbly helpful back in the day, let me tell you. There were just so many objects. Red herrings, empty oil cans, fuse wire, and other objects littered the town, many of which are needed to perform tasks enabling you to discover yet more objects. Other items you'll be best to evade are the naked flame you'll find outside the petrol station. Yeah, sounds safe out there, doesn't it? An angry monkey's banana, yes, you heard that right, and a shark or two. Yes, you also heard that right too. You'll find our sharky friend in a couple of places, namely in the sewer, but also should you try and get to a place where you're not carrying the right item, and possibly, with the wrong character, you'll fall into his corridor of doom. The ground disappears as you plummet down into his lair, which always scared me to death as a kid, and then have to Daily Thompson your way out of there. By that I mean, of course, having to waggle your joystick left and right, or hit those keys, until you manage to escape his grasp. Or not. Ah! You can also play a very famous arcade-style game in the form of a teleportation device, found in a telephone box of all places. Another nice little gimmick was the fact that the original tape cassette version of Everyone's a Wally featured a Mike Berry song about the game, recorded as an audio track on the B-side. Well, that's what we've been listening to throughout the video, and I have to admit, it is pretty catchy and very nostalgic to hear it back. To be honest, I've not made much of a dent in the game so far, as the instructions don't give too much away. But this is intentional, of course. As with such titles from Mikro-Gen, half the fun lies in figuring out the mechanics of the game and what you are supposed to do with all the objects that you come across. But give it a whirl, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to let us know what you thought about this game in the comments section. Do you remember this from your youth, or did it completely miss your radar back in the day? As always, thank you for your continued support. Hit subscribe if you're enjoying the nostalgic memories, and hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.